The moment the water touched me, the whole palace went dark. Not because anything attacked us, because something finally recognized me, and recognition, it turns out, is louder than any scream. Only Mama Udara saw my eyes change, and only she understood, in that instant, that the story she'd been telling herself for 17 years was about to end. As quickly as it came, it left. No explanation, no mark on my skin, just silence, and every single person in that room looking at me like I was suddenly a stranger. The king said a name I'd never heard, Baba Fasoranti. He said it like a man calling for a doctor or a priest, or possibly both. I had never seen Mama Udara afraid of a person before. Spirits, deaths, rivers, yes, but never a person until that name was spoken. Baba Fasoranti arrived just before dawn. He didn't rush. Men who have already survived the worst thing that can happen to them rarely do. He looked at me for a long time before he spoke. Not like he was seeing something monstrous, like he was seeing something he'd been mourning for 17 years, standing upright and breathing. "Sit," he told me. "It is time someone finally told you the truth, and told it correctly, not the version that protects the guilty." 17 years ago, the queen gave birth to twin daughters, not one child, two. And that single fact is the piece of this story everyone has been hiding from you since the day you were born. Because a prophecy said only one of the sisters could survive to inherit the crown without destroying the kingdom. And someone in that room had to decide which child got to keep her name. Mama Udara didn't steal a river orphan 17 years ago. She carried a princess to that water herself and asked the river to hide her in plain sight, disguised as nothing at all. The river didn't take me. It hid me. There's a difference, and it's a difference that changes everything you think you know about this story so far. "Then who," I asked, "is my sister?" Baba Fasoranti didn't answer right away. He looked instead at the king, and the king looked at the floor. The floor seemed to move beneath me. Isioma wasn't jealous of Dayo. She was never even competing with me over him. She'd been circling the truth about us her entire life. I don't know how long Isioma had been standing in that doorway. Long enough. Her face told me she already half believed it before Baba Fasoranti said it out loud. "I used to dream about water I'd never seen," Isioma said quietly. "I thought I was losing my mind. I never once thought it was because I was dreaming about you." For the first time since this all began, I understood something with total clarity. The story was never about a lost princess and a jealous rival. It was about two sisters the kingdom had spent 17 years keeping apart on purpose. I thought discovering my sister was the end of the secrets that Rome had been keeping from us. I was wrong. Baba Fasoranti still hadn't told us the price of finding each other. I thought finding out I had a sister was the worst thing that Rome had left to tell me. I was wrong. Baba Fasoranti hadn't finished. "The river did not hide two children out of kindness," he said. "It hid two children because a debt this size could never be paid by only one." "What debt?" Isioma asked. Her voice was steadier than mine would have been. I was starting to understand that steadiness was simply how she survived things. The king finally told the story the way it should have been told from the beginning without softening a single part of it. 3 generations ago, a king before him made a promise to that river to save this kingdom from a drought that was killing his people. In exchange for rain, he swore the royal bloodline would owe the river something it never specified. Only that one day, it would collect. For 3 generations, Baba Fasoranti said, the river was patient. It let the debts grow quietly, the way all debts grow when nobody is watching them. And 17 years ago, it finally decided how it wanted to be repaid, not with gold, not with rain, with one of you. One of you was always meant to go back into that water, permanently. The other was always meant to take the throne. Nobody ever decided which was which. That decision was left for tonight. No, Mama Odara said, and for the first time in the entire story, I heard something close to rage in her voice. I did not carry that child to the water for 17 years just to hand her back now. The river does not ask what you are willing to give, he said gently. It only tells you what it has decided to take. It has been patient. Its patience is ending tonight. Dayo moved before he thought about it, putting himself between me and everyone else in that hall. Whatever else was true about him, that instinct, at least, was real. I've spent my whole life being told I was a spare, Isioma said. Maybe the river finally agrees with everyone else. Don't you dare, I said. It was the first time I had ever called her my sister out loud, even silently, even just in my own head. It came out before I could stop it. Isioma looked at me like the word had physically landed somewhere. Maybe it had. Neither of us had ever been allowed to use it before tonight. The river didn't wait for us to decide anything. It had already decided it was done waiting. It rose around both of us at once, not choosing between us, surrounding us together, like it hadn't made up its mind either, or like it had never actually needed to. And that's when I understood something Baba Fasoranti hadn't told us, or maybe didn't even know himself. The death was never about choosing one of us. It never needed to be, until we let someone convince us that it did. If this chapter shocked you, comment, the death was never one life below. What do you think the river really wants? And how do you think Tolani and Isioma can break a debt that has lasted for generations? If you're enjoying this series, like, subscribe to Moonlight Tales by Joy, and share this story with someone who loves African fantasy, mystery, and folklore. The next chapter reveals the river's final choice.